little talked about thing that people who suffer from trauma, whether it's PTSD or CPTSD, have is something called Stockholm syndrome. It's pretty much where they identify with their captors. It was named in, I believe, 1973. I think there were 8 people who were held hostage by somebody, robbing some store, and they all kind of sort of empathized with the person who held them captive. So it is pretty much that, it's but when you sort of empathize or sort of almost feel as though you deserve to be held captive by the person who's holding you captive. Now, it doesn't have to be like something like as serious as somebody holding a gun to your head. It can even be like, in my case, my parents. I felt my parents were pretty much holding me captive. They had power of attorney. They had all that, all this power over me. They literally had to know every single place where I was. They had to see my phone every day, every single conversation, every friend I had. They had to know everything. Pretty much helicopter parents, but over controlling. So it can be even like a roommate who potentially just thinks that they're better than you for whatever reason it is. Like somebody who may be saying, okay, I need you to buy, I don't know, the milk or something. It can be anything like that. It can even be a horrible boss, like in a job. You can have a boss who sort of says, okay, I want you to do this, and sort of like, favors other people over you. It happens all the time. And unfortunately, that's very difficult to get out of that situation. Learning how to stand up for yourself is not something that's just learned overnight. It's something that takes a lot of work, and you have to the very first thing you have to recognize is the fact that you have the problem of Stockholm syndrome. Second thing is you have to recognize, sort of understand that you're enabling the other person to take advantage of you. Like I posted a couple of years ago a video called "I Was Friends with a Narcissist." Now, yes, of course, as expected, the guy didn't pay back the $200. But here's the thing: he's not thinking a day about it. He's moved on with his life, and I was kind of feeling, oh, maybe I shouldn't call him out like this. Maybe I should have, been nice to him. Maybe I should have. But absolutely, he manipulated me into the $200. I was in a state where I was very easily manipulated, and then live and let live. Just break connections with that person. That's how I gotta do it. Like, there's no point, whining over $200 when, while that is like a lot of money right now, it's just you can't. Sometimes you just gotta let go. But just knowing that you have to keep moving forward and you can't keep letting it happen. Knowing that Stockholm syndrome, Stockholm syndrome is not like incredibly like prevalent. Like, I mean, about 8% of people who have trauma have Stockholm syndrome of some sort. I have identified people who clearly have it. They are treated badly by somebody, and then they literally cave to every demand. Whether it's like, oh, I need you to drive me somewhere, they'll do it. And it's just, unfortunately, sometimes it's the case that I may sort of tell them, you're just enabling this person to take advantage of you, and they have to want the change in order for it to actually change. I know this is a bit of a ramble, and I'm just kind of educating that it is a thing that I definitely have a slight Stockholm syndrome. It's not terrible. It's lessening over the years. More than anything, I feel more anger and anxiety about things than anything else. But yeah, some people who, especially when they first kind of face freedom, exactly, this is actually what I should be saying. Like, when I first moved out of my parents' house, I was literally feeling bad for them and not even thinking about my own well-being. And then one of the roommates I had, and I've posted about that roommate, I actually literally felt as though felt sorry for him, and I literally catered to every demand. I would buy the milk for him every single day, even though he would drink most of it. I would tell him, I would even sometimes say, this milk lasts 2 weeks, make sure it lasts 2 weeks, and it would last 2 days, and I would not get none of it. And we were taking turns buying milk, and it was just awful. But sometimes, you just gotta recognize that you have to stand up for yourself, and sometimes it's a lot easier said than done. Anyway, thanks for watching.